Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane.
Hey guys, what's up? It is Matt coming back at you from All Sports Galaxy on YouTube with a new video. This one we're going to be doing the top 10 first baseman and DH in MLB right now. As I promised, I'm getting more consistent with these videos. I dropped a video sometime last week with the top 10 catchers right now, so if you didn't check that out, make sure you go and do that. The link will be in the bio, so just go ahead and click on that. So smash the like button if you're enjoying these videos. Leave us, you got to subscribe to me if you're not. Tell a friend, it'd be a big help. Also, I'm going to be posting a lot more dope vids when it gets warmer out and I'm able to get outside and do some cool sporty shit. Obviously, I live in, I'd say central New York. I live about 60 miles north of the city. And we're getting a massive snowstorm Tuesday, over a foot, so it's going to be tough. Hopefully within the next month it starts to warm up. We could do cool shit like that. And anyway, we're going to get into this list right now. As last time, we had a just missed list. You're going to see the just missed list in a second. Before I start, I'm going to say, first baseman and DH, this list, there's just so many great players. I think first base in baseball, I think that's the position with the most depth by far. Third base came close, but there's just so much good players at this position. And I even have to mix in DHs. There's a few good DHs out there, like Nelson Cruz. You could consider Carlos Santana a DH now with Encarnacion playing first for Cleveland. So there's a lot of good DHs too. I didn't make a separate DH list because there weren't enough just DHs, so I just mixed it in here. But if there's a player on here you thought should have made it and didn't make it, leave it in the comments below. Don't get mad. You know, like I said, this list is very tough. This is my opinion. If you guys don't agree with me, it's alright. But here's the just miss list. Just miss list includes Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles, Hanley Ramirez of the Boston Red Sox, Chris Carter of the New York Yankees, who just signed her this offseason, Eric Hosmer of the Royals, who I love, and another guy I love is Will Myers, the new face of the San Diego Padres, as he was just locked up on an extension this past offseason. I'm going to start with Chris Davis. Listen, great power hitter. The contact numbers weren't there for him to get on this list. He hit 38 home runs. He drove in 84 RBIs. 221 is just not enough to get in this list. I know his power numbers are incredible. I know they're great, but I like him a lot as a power hitter. There were just 10 guys that were better than him, and that's why I didn't make it on this list. Hanley Ramirez, nothing against this guy, actually. 286, 30 home runs, 111 runs batted in. Those are solid all-star. Even, they could even be MVP numbers back in the day, a couple years ago. But, he's getting up there in age. This young game, there's a youth movement going on. There's so many good players we're blessed with, and that's why he didn't make the list. Any other year, he had a terrible year last year. 2 years ago, my bad. In 2015, he had a terrible year. Last year was the year he did great. Like I just said, he hit 286 with 30 home runs, drove in over 100. He's just not getting any younger, and that's why he didn't get on this list. Chris Carter just signed with the Yankees. I think he can make the list next year, especially when you're playing at a ballpark like Yankee Stadium. If you can hit 40 home runs in Houston and Milwaukee, you're easily going to hit 40 home runs, at least in the Bronx. Unless you can't handle playing in the atmosphere of New York, but I don't think this guy will have a problem. Wherever he plays, I think he's going to hit for power. So he was tied with the NL, I believe, with 41 home runs. He tied the lead. 94 RBIs and 41 home runs, so that's legit. Similar to Chris Davis, the average 222, it just wasn't there to put him on this list. If he has another big power year like this, he might be on the list next year, so keep your eye out for that. Moving down the list, Eric Hosmer, I said I liked him a lot. First baseman for the Royals, very consistent year, 266, 25 home runs, and over 100 RBIs with 104. Like I said, he just couldn't make the list because this position was just any other list he would have made. There's just so many great players in this list, and that's the same reason Will Myers didn't make it. The average was a little low, so the speed almost got him on the list at speed. People are talking about him being a potential 40-40 guy in the future. I don't know about that. If he has that much power, I think he does have that much speed, but we'll have to see. He is the face of that Padres franchise now, I think. It's going to be a really long rebuild. That's another reason that it's tough to put him on the list. I'm not saying anything bad about Myers, but the Padres, they're the worst franchise in the Major League Baseball right now. So there's my just missed list, guys. Now I'm gonna get into the actual list of the top catcher, or not the top catchers, the top first baseman and DH in Major League Baseball right now. Starting off the list, number 10 of the Cleveland Indians. It's not Encarnacion, if that's what you're thinking. It's Carlos Santana. Santana will be playing some first base and DH this year, splitting time with Encarnacion at those positions. He comes in at number 10 because, I mean, he just couldn't be any higher. You guys are probably thinking, Santana's better than Hosmer. Santana's better than Hanley Ramirez. He's better than Will Myers. At this point, I'm going to say yes. He really helped that Cleveland Indians team last year in that playoff run. If you look what he did last year, he had 259, 34 home runs, 87 RBIs. That's very consistent in a lineup like that. Wins a lot of games. Just to be in the middle of that lineup is huge. Obviously, he wasn't any higher. The career number is 247 average, 151 RBIs, and 151 home runs and 508 RBIs. So yeah, Santana's down at number 10. Tell me what you guys think of that. Moving on to number 9, I had to put this guy on the list. I wasn't going to, but his career numbers were just so good. Coming in at number 9, Albert Pujols of the Los Angeles Angels at Anaheim. Obviously, with Mike Trout there, he's not the face of the franchise. He was the face of the Cardinals when he was back there, but listen, this guy, I didn't realize how much he contributed to the Angels this year. He still had a very good year, 268 average, 31 home runs, and 119 RBIs. You know, 119 RBIs, that's nuts. It's hard to do that in this day and age, driving 119 runs and still hit for power like that. And then the career numbers are just nuts. He has a 309 career batting average, 591 home runs, and that's still going up. Like I said, he's going to be close in that list. He's going to make the 600 club this year if he's healthy. And over 1,000 career RBIs, almost 2,000 career RBIs. He'll reach that in a couple seasons, I think, if he's healthy. Like I said, I think Albert Pujols was very deserving of this list. Obviously, it wasn't enough to make the top. The top is just filled with a bunch of guys. Like, the top of the list is just, you could reverse it in any way you want, any shape or form, because there's just, the top 5 is just stacked. But we're only on number 8 right now. Moving on to number 8, I should say. Number 8 in this list are the Chicago White Sox Cuban first baseman, Jose Abreu. Abreu, coming off a season where he hit 293, hit 25 home runs, and drove in 100 RBIs. Listen, if you're out there hitting above 285, very quality player. He hit 293. If you're hitting 18 home runs or above, you got power numbers. He hit 25 home runs. If you go out there driving 80 RBIs or more, that's very good. He hit 100 RBIs. He is an above quality player. He's more than a quality player to that team. In my opinion, he is the face of that team right now. With Chris Sale gone, obviously. I think this is Jose Abreu's team right now. It's going to be Jan McConaughey's team one day. Right now, it's Jose Abreu's team. His career numbers include a 299 batting average, 91 RBIs, and 308 RBIs. And if I said 91 RBIs, I meant 91 home runs. Moving on to the list at number 7, we saw Santana on this list at number 10. Here's his teammate, the Indians' new offseason signing, potentially the biggest offseason signing of the offseason for any team, Edwin Encarnacion of the Cleveland Indians. He's coming off a year where you have to have him on this list. People could even argue that he should be higher on this list. When he was, I believe he was close to the league leaders in home runs. I know he hit 42 home runs. He had a 263 batting average. Like, 263 is not that bad if you're going to hit 42 home runs. And he led the American League in RBIs. He had 127 RBIs. That's just nuts. Obviously, I don't know, these stats, he's going to put up good numbers in Cleveland, but I don't know he's going to be as good like as he was in Toronto. I think the stats will definitely transpire to Cleveland, but I think the Rogers Center is a great place to hit. I don't know if he'll be able to put up as good numbers. He's still definitely going to have an impact on that team, and I think the Indians are honestly my favorite to get back and win that World Series right now this year. Number 6, if this was just a first base video and we didn't have any DHs at all, this guy wouldn't be on the list. But since we are including DHs, this guy slides in at number 6. Gotta love him. of the Seattle Mariners, Nelson Cruz. Why don't you like Nelly Cruz? Come on, you gotta love Nelly Cruz. Ever since that season he had with Baltimore in 2014, that's when he became from a quality player to a stud. This guy this season hit 287. People are I still think of this guy as like a 240 hitter. This guy hit 287. And on top of that, he hit 43 home runs. And he drove in over 100 RBIs. He had 105 RBIs. I think Nelson Cruz, I honestly think he should have been an MVP candidate. That's the kind of season he had. Obviously, he wouldn't have won it with Trout and Betts and guys like that, but Altuve. But this guy, he had a very good year. He deserves to be on this list in every way. A 275 career batting average, almost 300 career home runs, and he's close to 800 career RBIs. That's nuts. Moving on the list to my top 5. This is where it gets really good. You guys might disagree on this part. Like I said, feel free to leave a comment below. Just don't hate. You guys can leave your arguments below, though. At number 5, I have the face of the Atlanta Braves first baseman who had a huge breakout year that everyone's been waiting for him to have, Freddie Freeman. Listen, Freeman hit 302, 34 home runs, 91 RBIs. He had over 300, over 30 home runs, and over 90 RBIs. That's definitely MVP stuff. He's going to be an MVP candidate one day in the future. He's just going to get better as this team starts to build up a dynasty as they did in the 90s. This team's not too far away. In a couple of seasons, obviously when I think 2019, by the time 2019 comes along, this team's going to be one of the top teams in the league again, and Freeman's going to be right in the middle of it. He's going to be winning MVPs. Obviously, it's going to be fun to watch. They have a new ballpark this year. It's going to be fun. Tell me what you think of Freeman being on this list. He has a career average of 288, 138 career home runs, and over 500 career RBIs. Coming in the list at number 4, this was tough. I probably could have reversed these. I probably could have reversed Freeman with this guy, but I didn't. Because I like this guy's defense a hell of a lot. I give it to the defending World Series champion, Chicago Cubs first baseman, Anthony Rizzo. Obviously, the backstory of Rizzo, too, you gotta love. He came up with Boston. He fought off cancer, went to San Diego. Then Theo Epstein, who used to be in Boston, traded back for him, and he became the face of the Cubs up there with Bryant. He had such a great year last year. He hit 292, 32 home runs, and 109 RBIs. He definitely deserves to be up on this list. Don't argue, because he belongs here, no doubt. Number 3, this guy's old, but he's so good, and he's never going to be bad. That's why he's up this far. If he was younger, he would have been number 1 on the list. How can you not put him on the list of the Detroit Tigers? Future Hall of Famer Miguel Cabrera. Miggy. Yeah, gotta love Miggy. 321 career average, I'm going to start with. Nuts. 446 career home runs. He's going to reach 500 in the next couple years. Over 1,500 RBIs. Just, wow, that's ridiculous. Then you're saying, oh, it's about right now. Those are the career numbers. Yeah, look at his stats from last year. He hit 316 last year. 38 home runs, 108 RBIs. That's not easy to do. He had an MVP caliber season, and I expect him to go out there and do it again. Obviously, he's the defending Triple Crown winner. He was the last person to win a Triple Crown. And I doubt anyone else will do it for a very long time. Top 2 on the list. I wanted to put this guy at number 1, but he comes in at number 2 of the Cincinnati Reds, the face of that franchise, Joey Votto. Alright, so Joey Votto coming off a year where he hit 326, and that's where I looked and I said this guy's got to be on my number 1 guy. But he's not. He's my number 2 guy, still very up there on the list, plays great defense, has a great bat, great leadership, great veteran guy to have. He's been there for a while. He's been there through the good and the bad. Hopefully he'll get more winning seasons. Obviously the Reds are nowhere close to contention, but fans are going to fill that ballpark. They're going to fill the seats just to see Joey Votto play because every year he has a chance to win that MVP, and you know it. He hit 326, 29 home runs, 97 RBIs, very good numbers. He has a career average of 313, 221 home runs, and 730 RBIs. Moving on to the list at number 1. If you haven't guessed it yet, Think a little harder. If you have guessed it, good job. Because I put this guy at the top of the list because he's just a great all-around player. I have Paul Goldschmidt of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I expect this guy to win an MVP. One day, he will win an MVP. He's going to get even better than he is now. Obviously, his numbers weren't as good as, Votto's were last year, or Cabrera's were last year, or Freeman's were last year, but I still think he has the best potential chance to go out there and have even better numbers this year and just build off of it and have a very solid career. He hit 297 last year, 24 home runs, 95 RBIs, still very good numbers. I expect him, he plays a great defense, and the reason he's number one is this guy stole 30 bases. He runs. He's going to do that again next year. He's going to play great defense next year. He wasn't healthy the full season last year either. If he was healthy the full season, it would have been very fun. Listen, this guy could be a 40-40 guy. People talk about Myers being a 40-40 guy. I think Goldschmidt has the better chance. I think we will see a power year from him one day, or 1 year. 1 year he will hit 40 home runs. I'm expecting him, to hit over 300, hit close to 40 home runs, and drive in over 120 RBIs, and steal over 30 bases, and play a Gold Glove first base. That's why he's number one. His career numbers include 299 average, 140 home runs, and 507 RBIs. So congratulations to Paul Goldschmidt on winning. We saw Posey win the top 10 catchers. Goldschmidt will join him on the list for winners at first. So we got Buster Posey and Paul Goldschmidt on my top list right now for the all-around team this year coming in. Who's the top second baseman in the league? Is it Altuve? Is it Murphy? Is it Neil Walker? Is it Robinson Cano? You're going to have to come back to the next video and find out, because that's the next video I'll be uploading sometime at the end of this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, like I said, smash the like button, leave a like, and please subscribe, tell a friend, watch the videos. I'll be more consistent. Follow the Instagram. Like I said, the link for my last video is in this bio right below. So go and check that out if you haven't checked it yet. And this is Matt from ASG, and I'm saying peace. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.